brand new PUBG DMR coming. If you can see from the image down below, that's the SVD, aka DRAGUNOV 762 DMR coming to PUBG. Weapon balances and gunplay mechanic changes. More on that in a second. Miramar and Erangel map changes. All of that and more are coming with update 25.1.
Please don't wreck it.
We should plan to see that update, I think, at the beginning of next month, like the first week of August. So let's jump in. If you enjoy the content, hit that like button. It helps the video, helps the algorithm.
Here too, baby.
Your boy. This first print that I'm doing is going to be this size. This is the visor for the level 3 helmet. PUBG.
Oh, he's 3D printing something.
A new dev letter around gunplay, and I'm not going to read the entire thing. I'll just kind of summarize it because that's what you got.
Okay, about gunplay, like, please get rid of the SMG limb damage multiplier, please. Let's balance some shotguns. Let's make it so you got an ADS with the shotguns. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Let's see.
Guys, come to the channel for. So it's a big, long dev letter, and I read it all, and it's actually really interesting information if you're in to that kind of stuff,
hey,
like learning PUBG's kind of insight and their mindset on why they do things, like in terms of making changes to the game. But in essence, this developer letter goes over kill rates for AR DMRs. It goes over win rates. What are the more likely used weapons?
So it's just AR DMR investigation. Bojo, thanks for the Prime for 10 months. They're literally just investigating ARs and DMRs. Well, there's other things that are really broken in the game. Kind of a bummer. Oh man, AK's not getting much love. Look at this. Look at this. 5.56 AR, etc. You got M4 and AUG. I wonder what that could be. Scar. K2.
Like, for example, this little chart says monthly kill rates by assault rifle.
G36,
shows, the M4
QBC.
and the AUG are really well used. The barrel, a little bit of the ace, and then, barely any AK, and then a mixture of the other ones. Same thing for DMRs. Mark 12 is the highest used one right now, followed by the SLR. Then the Mini 14 and the SKS are ironically kind of tied, which is surprising to me.
Split's pretty good between the 7.6 and the 5.5.
The SKS. And then again, just more charts and graphs, and then a lot of discussions around why they made the changes. Okay, so here's the TLDR. What PUBG has been doing over the past year or so is they've been basically, instead of like trying to really balance all of the guns around each other, they've kind of taken the approach of adding new weapons that would kind of just shake up the meta in itself. Like, for instance, they saw that the barrel was being out-chosen over the M4 by a long shot, so they added the AUG, the crate weapon, nerfed it a little bit, not much, nerfed it a little bit, and brought it into the world spawn.
Yeah, but before then, right? Before they did that, they nerfed the M4 into the planet, right? They took the M4 and they nerfed it. That's why so many people are using the barrel. People used to use the M4 like way more before the barrel, and then they nerfed the M4 into the abyss.
To kind of shake up the meta, and according to the graphs, it did exactly that. It shook up the meta a pretty good bit. So now you got the AUG right up there, kind of next. Which
I've been told now that the AUG is actually better than the barrel for a few different reasons. I guess up close, like, barrel still does the most DPS, but I mean, you can control the AUG way more. The damage fall off versus the barrel isn't nearly as much, and you can consolidate all of your ammo into just 5.5 if you're running the MK, which is superior.
Neck and neck. It's almost 50-50 with the barrel now, which is good. You don't want to see a one weapon meta. Now they did not take the approach of buffing the lower tiered assault rifles in DMRs, which is what I would have liked them to have done.
Like, why keep them?
Still see them do, like the Scar, the G36, the SKS. Like the weapons that aren't performing that great. Maybe we, instead of nerfing the higher tier ones, maybe we just buff the lower tier weapons a little bit, to, you know, kind of help bring them in line.
Well, because if you don't buff the other ones, right? To C-Dome's point, if you're not buffing the other ones, they'll always be garbage, right? And people will just pick them up when they just have nothing else to pick up. That's it. And then as soon as you find the meta weapon, you just swap it out. Unlucky.
And, you know, just give players more options and variety of choice, because that is specifically what they say their focus is to give players choice, how they play the game, which weapons they pick up, all that kind of stuff. And so again, without diving into all those details,
that's basically just weapon balancing 101.
Is they talk about why they made the choices they made, how the data has been trending from what they've been seeing, and based on the current data, what they plan to do about it next. So that brings us to this chart right here, which shows the Mark 12 is by far the most used DMR.
It's OP
by
right?
a long shot.
The Mark 12, the lightweight grip,
and it's
OP.
a 5.56 gun. So
Saviola,
instead
hello.
of necessarily taking the approach of buffing the SKS or the SLR, what they're going to do is add another 7.62 DMR.
Gosh,
and that
man.
brings us to the
Leaving our beautiful SKS brother in the dust. Elbow, thanks for the 1 year tier 1. Thanks for the support. Literally, PUBG is not going to do anything to the SKS. It's going to be poop. And now they're putting a new 7.6 DMR in.
the DRAGUNOV SVD, I think is the weapon.
Is it going to be a crate weapon?
Code for it. And so I will read this last little paragraph here because this is about future plans. So in our last dev letter, we committed to enhancing the excitement of gunplay in a more encompassing way. Here's a glimpse of forthcoming plans. Initially, our goal is to foster fresh gunplay opportunities via updates to weapon categories or even larger scale trends. What that means is hinting at, do you remember the dev map that I covered like a couple months ago? The big like PUBG partner dev interviews, like 3 hours long. I condensed that all down for you guys. In one of the sections, they talked about under barrel mounted grenade launchers for assault rifles. That's what they, in my opinion, that's what they're hinting at when they're talking about fresh gunplay opportunities. They'll
Yes, chat. So now, not only will we have the Panzer, but we'll have the noob tube. Oh, man, dude. Not the noob tubes. Oh, no.
continue to monitor the usage and, you know, make balances as needed.
$9,
this includes
for the
lesser
sub.
used weapons within the AR DMR category, as well as SMG and LMG, which consistently display lower overall usage rates.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, I haven't put too much thought into a lot of this, right? But SMGs should be powerful close range. Yes, they have lower use rate because the ARs are just better. As you get better in the game, you're supposed to graduate from using the SMG and move to the AR. What's happening is people are using the SMGs more and more because of the limb damage multipliers. The LMGs, I don't know, like SMGs are good close range. I mean, maybe LMGs should be good at long range spraying with lower recoil when you're prone, you know, dealing more damage for longer range spray. Out of any of these, the SMGs need the limb damage multiplier removed. The LMGs need the most love. They literally the LMGs are pretty much only used for trolling, basically, when I see it. You get a full squad running M249s and they're just camping a bridge. I use it when I'm like camping a bridge or something, right? But like, they're okay, but they're not the weapon of choice, right? There's always going to be metas in games, always. But I don't know. They keep introducing new guns when there's issues with guns that are already in the game. It's kind of, in my opinion, kind of a letdown.
It will carefully review and develop these non-mainstream weapons so
and
they can
believe me,
have
I
their
love
unique
seeing new
identity and
weapons.
functionality.
Love seeing new weapons.
Moreover, during this process, we aim to minimize updates that could be stressful to players, such as excessive adjustments to favored weapons, because they saw some pushback, you know, when they nerfed the M4, then they reverted it, and it kind of went back and forth. So that's good that they're acknowledging that. All right.
Okay.
We're also excited to inform you that you will soon get to meet a new weapon and new gunplay features. That is the underbarrel grenade launcher.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say new features. They're gonna add limb damage multiplier to ARs.
Some of this content has already been hinted at through the previous dev letters on social media. Again, the underbarrel grenade launcher. In conclusion,
Excuse you,
blah, 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 blah. They want to ensure the gunplay in PUBG Battlegrounds, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, continues to be cherished for years to come. We are committed to persistent innovation with diversity and opportunity serving as our guiding principles. Thank you, PUBG team. All of that out the way. DRAGUNOV SVD, a brand new 7.62 DMR. And I gotta be honest, I'm super excited about this because the last game that I played that had the DRAGUNOV was probably like SOCOM 3. DRAGUNOV. I spelled that right? Look at this thing. Look at this thing.
Well,
I mean, it's
cool.
It's a badass looking weapon. What is going to be interesting to me is to consider how this weapon is going to be slotted into the meta.
Well, is it going to be a crate gun? Is it going to be a world spawn? You know, if it's a crate gun, what does that mean? Are they going to take the MK14 out of the crate? Are they going to just make it a world spawn? I think it's cool introducing new guns. Like, where does it fit? Where does it fit? Like, what type of other imbalances are they going to make? You know, I don't know. There's a lot going on. Is it going to be like a Paramo exclusive gun, right? Hey, we got the new DRAGUNOV. It's exclusive to Paramo or Sandhawk, right? It's a Sandhawk only gun.
From what I've seen them do, my guess is that this weapon is going to be an SLR competitor. Perhaps it has a lower magazine count, but maybe a more accurate bullet with higher damage or something like that. I don't know how they're going to bounce.
An SLR competitor? I don't know. Maybe it's going to take the MK out of the crate. We'll see an MK14 progressive skin when it comes out of the crate, right? And then the DRAGUNOV goes into the crate, right?
It exactly, but when you look at the gun, it kind of is an SLR in terms of like the amount of attachments and whatnot it can hold, because you know it basically has a muzzle. It does not have an underbarrel rail, and you can put a cheek pad on it like you could an SLR, you know, and obviously an extended magazine than a scope. So like it doesn't seem like there's a lot of options to differentiate it from the SLR, aside from, you know, a faster bullet velocity and a lower bullet damage, or vice versa, higher bullet damage but a slower bullet velocity. You know, I don't know exactly how they'll do it, but that'll be exciting to see, just a new weapon to get added anyway. Now, one thing I was considering, I was like, man,
Cedom really paused this one on a good look for this guy. Poor Brandon Herrera, man, he did him dirty.
what if they actually make this a crate gun and bring the Mark 14 into the world spawn and slightly nerf the Mark 14? Because if you look at their track record, that's kind of what they're doing. They took out the M249 and nerfed it, brought it into the world spawn. They took out
right
the
into
Tommy
oblivion.
Gun, nerfed it,
nerfed it into oblivion.
Brought it to world spawn. They took out the AUG, nerfed it, brought it to world spawn.
Buffed it,
so
brought it to world spawn.
Obvious trend that PUBG does. The DBS shotgun was initially in the crate and it came out.
Took out, spawn. Didn't nerf it.
There's a trend where PUBG is taking weapons out of the crates, injecting them into the world spawn, and then replacing those weapons with another thing. So this DRAGUNOV could potentially be, in my opinion, it could be a really fun VSS type of weapon. Like they could make it to where it's crate only, but it comes already like kitted out from the crate. So maybe it already has like a special scope on it.
No, not like VSS.
Pad, a magazine,
no,
a suppressor or something. They can make it a fun, like unique weapon and then bring the Mark 14 into the world. And if they did that, the Mark 14 would be, I mean, just so dominant, right? So it'll be interesting to see what they do on that. Let me know what you guys think below about the new weapon and maybe how they might inject it into the game. On top of that, I covered the dev letter back in January, I think it was, and PUBG talked about new Erangel and Miramar map changes. Whoops! But somebody tweeted out just a picture of
Don't ruin Erangel. Don't ruin Erangel or Miramar, please.
A boulder that got added,
please.
But essentially just confirming that the Miramar revamp and the Erangel revamp are coming likely with update 25.1. which should be again dropping in like the first week of August, right? Because I think PUBG put that in their own roadmap that I covered about a week ago. Lineup 3 map update, August 9th to August 30th. So there you go. The first week of August, we can expect to see the map update for Erangel Miramar. Mega Collab number 1, just a reminder, that's later this month. That's going to be the Tekken Street Fighter collaboration. Mega Collab 2 is the Aston Martin collaboration. That's that special crafter survivor pass that's going to include the Aston Martin vehicle, the special vehicle that you can get, upgrade, customize, all that kind of stuff.
Is that for the coupe?
For example, most of the DMRs are pretty bad at very long range compared to snipe. Well, they have to be though. So like that's one thing they kind of, I mean, like, and you know, they know that they have to balance those weapons against each other. Right now, when you watch PUBG esports, almost none of the pro players, and I mean like a super
none of them use a
percentage,
bolt,
pick up bolt action sniper.
And why is that, Chad? Why do they not pick up bolts? Because it's not feasible, really. I mean, when you get at that good of aim, right? When you're aiming at that level, right? Okay, so you get a headshot or you knock someone with a bolty. You're up against a team that has all DMRs, right? Like usually they'll probably get the trade, or they won't be able to get the finish, or, you know, super slow. You can only shoot one bullet at a time. You know, if you have a DMR, you can lay pressure down on multiple people at once. So, you know, it makes sense. I do think that bolties should be buffed in some type of fashion. I don't really know how, because it's kind of a bummer. Like, one of the most exciting parts about PUBG is the bolty sniping, and I don't know, it does feel good to get those one-tap Sphinxy, but the thing is that at the highest tier, no one uses them. Why is that? You know, I don't know. You know, then you're starting to get into that whole realism versus video game thing. It's like, I get it. They're doing, you know, maybe it's based on realism or whatnot, but it's not, you know, it's not conducive to balancing in a video game.
Rifles. And that's because DMRs are already really good long range, but they're also a much higher DPS. So if you were to have a DMR that's even better long range in the current meta, it's going to be like the one-stop shop gun, and that's what they want to avoid. So there has to be a trade-off. You have to have damage fall off, damage drop off, that kind of stuff to entice you to pick up other types of weapons. You know, need that. All right, so that's the update. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it.
Where was the discussion about the maps? Did we miss that, chat, or did I just totally skip over it? Apparently they're making changes to Miramar with the southern island. Hopefully they don't do too much. I really like the way that they have things laid out. Erangel, please don't mess it up, chat. That's all I'm going to say about it. All right. Once again, this video, PUBG is adding the DRAGUNOV sniper map changes by CDOM. You will like the video. And the link to CDOM's video will be down in the description. Check it out on your own if you want. And make sure you give them a like. And hey, like this video, subscribe. Thank you guys.